plans, man?
Well, I got some more fun for you. This here's your briefing. Say, you want some candy?
Hey.
Excuse me.
We haven't even started this mission. Command's already talking about sending us back to the Middle East.
Again? And that's one that never ends.
It's because, war's easier in peace. Company man back there, who you never saw, by the way, he believes in this fantasy. It's called Wonderland, where people never fight. It's all rainbows and marshmallows and unicorns and shit, but, I guess we could talk about that another time.
Yeah.
Say, Nomad, it's good to see you.
You too, man. You stay healthy.
Always.
Look what your Wonderland got you. You are a better man than this, Walker. Nomad to Erewhon. I'm plugged in. Transmit that virus.
Understood. We're sending now.
Nomad to Erewhon. Mission accomplished.
That's amazing to hear. I'll let everyone know.
I'm heading back. Make sure Mad saved me some of that moonshine. Activating night vision goggles. Night vision on.
Are you ready for this fight?
Nomad. Honored to greet you, sir.
I guess we're stuck here a little while longer, huh?
Well, we stopped Walker from taking the drones off the island. That's not small potatoes.
Y'all know what Wonderland is? Walker mentioned it. Other people working for him and Stone mentioned it too.
I heard Walker and Stone talk about it, but I never got a full explanation.
Sounds like Lewis Carroll. Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah. Yeah, he said I couldn't stop it.
Oh, forget about it, all right? This island is full of crazy billionaires. People who think they're wolves. Killer robots. And military contractors. But it is also full of really, really good people. And we got together and we did something good, and we should be proud of that.
I'll drink to that.
Look at those birds.
Those aren't birds.
That's fascinating.
You didn't program that.
Aruhi.
It would seem that Icarus is not the only one aiming for great heights.
This is Stone. Miles, just because you pay my bills, it don't make me your bitch. Well, I don't know how Skell took control of that sector, but he doesn't have it now. How's that? Well, you tell the big boss not to get his panties in a twist. Oh, well. I'm on the island. So with Walker gone, I guess that puts me in charge.
What's next?
Ready for this fight?
We're in that corner, so
I'll talk to you later. See ya.
Okay.
We need to help out our sick people, but we need to make sure that we stay healthy.
Walker's dead.
You?
Yeah.
If Walker's dead, why are we still hiding in a cave?
He was middle management. Stone's still out there working with Miles and who knows who else. Citadel is still operational. This is far from over.
You were friends, right? I don't know what to say. He wasn't really...
I know what you mean. We could spend all day listing his sins and we'd still have plenty more to check off tomorrow.
Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you, along with all malice.
You know that one from memory?
You don't get rich trying to be right all the time. I've had to forgive a lot of people, and I've had to ask for forgiveness, too.
We still have a ways to go. What do you plan to do when this is over?
You mean with Aroa? With Skeltec?
Assuming Miles is out of the picture.
You're assuming I don't go to prison.
I thought the whole idea of you being out here was that you were self-governing.
I mean, we escaped some regulations, but we still have holdings all over the world. And the lawsuits. I'm sure the families of my employees are already filing them from countries all over the world.
What is going on with these drone swarms? Did your program introduce a glitch or something?
It's, the drone swarm AI. That one swarm controller in particular, it went autonomous. Like, completely autonomous. Sentinel doesn't control it.
But neither do we.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Not necessarily. It's still running Operation Citadel, and it's also running a lot of other subroutines. But we've been locked out again. We have no access to the program.
Plain English, genius. What's gonna happen with this AI, and will it let us off this island?
The AI is demonstrating emergent behavior. You can't anthropomorphize it. It doesn't think the way people do. It can't let us do anything. But it doesn't make it less amazing.
In other words, we're shit out of luck. Stay out of trouble.
Focus is my forte.
There's a detention center by Liberty. What's the history behind?
It's basically a jail. It's fairly modernized, heavily guarded, and very protected. After the Outcast bombing, Sentinel Corp built it to lock up those people who threatened the security and safety of people living on the archipelago.
Well, I'm sure Sentinel only has the best of intentions.
Well, it's pretty ominous, actually. The people living there are just waiting for the law to decide what to do with them. I think it's inhumane.
Dollars to donuts, Sentinel sure as hell won't give him a fair trial. There's a recycling facility on Aroa, yeah?
There sure is. Skell had this vision of making Aroa completely autonomous and self-sufficient. The recycling program was right at the heart of that. Almost everything here can be recycled and reused.
What about the things that can't be recycled?
Well, there are a few vintage objects, hazardous elements and pieces that can't be directly recycled. Those things are sent by autonomous ships to the Windy Islands. It's a cluster of small islands, just south of the archipelago. There's a more robust recycling center there. It's mostly deserted.
Which is probably why the outcasts decided to set up their base there.
That makes sense. It's an ideal location, really.
The tech on this island is really something else. I didn't realize 3D printing had gotten so sophisticated.
What you've seen is just the tip of the iceberg. Seriously, I'm thrilled with what's on the horizon. The printing alone, it's nothing short of remarkable. I'm so stoked about it.
What's the latest?
Basically, all they need are the raw materials, and they can produce pieces that surpass anything I've ever seen in traditional mass production. Properties like elasticity, thermal resistance, density. This printer of theirs can match it perfectly.
I can tell it's something you're really passionate about.
You have no idea. This is revolutionary. Seriously, all they need to do is imagine a specific part, feed the design into the computer, and the printer can produce it in a matter of minutes. The possibilities are endless.
That does sound pretty remarkable. The Arrow. That flying drone test zone in restricted area 01. What else do you know about it?
Oh, that place? They call it the Arrow because it's shaped like the edge of an arrow. Go figure, right? Anyway, yes, it's where they launch the drones and test how they operate at low altitudes. The drone's AI is challenged by the topography of fjords, which is why that area was specifically chosen for testing.
So is the platform built into a mountain or something?
Yes, actually. It's built on the side of a mountain on the edge of the fjords. They come and go from a platform hidden right in the middle of the mountain range.
Fascinating. Hey, Madeira, you know anything about the composite factory? The one in Smuggler Coves?
Yes, that's where they produce all the raw materials needed to build the drones. All of the alloys, plastics, and composites. You know, like carbon fiber and epoxy. It all happens in that factory. It plays a pretty vital role in the process and manufacturing of the drones.
How are they able to get all of those materials and resources?
They're extracted from the local mines and then reprocessed. It's a pretty effective system they've developed over there, actually.
Okay, so, what is World 2.0? I mean, what is it to you?
Imagine if you had the power to solve all of the world's problems through technology, innovation, and sustainable development. World 2.0 is an opportunity for us to re-establish the link between mankind and the environment.
So, a utopia?
A utopia is unrealistic. Do I dream of a perfect world? Yes, but I'll settle for a better one. The joy of people coming together to achieve something bigger than themselves. That's the goal. A place where everyone can be the best version of themselves.
You make it sound lovely. You all right? Sentinel must have been an ordeal.
They are the filthy scum of the earth. Everything's been worse since they came to Aroa. Security?
That bad, huh?
They're an occupational force here to control and intimidate.
Seems to be working. They've got a lot of people scared.
Some are starting to push back. I might not be a fighter like you are, but I will always resist them, whatever way I can. That's why I built the energy cell for the outcasts.
And that went to hell in a handbasket.
You don't need to remind me. I just wanted them to have a source of electricity that wasn't hijacked from the Skell network. Keep them truly off-grid. One thing's for sure. I need to take better care in who I trust.
So how do you really feel about Project Deus?
Project Deus is a sect. Almost a cult. It's ridiculous.
Oh?
There are no gods in machines. Computers are tools, nothing more. They obey and carry out what we will of them.
Don't hold back now.
It's infuriating. Sadly, there is a certain power in what Maddox is trying to do. She has influence, and it has gotten her far.
What happens next?
I don't know. She's unstoppable when she puts her mind to something. All we can hope for is divine intervention before things get dangerous.
Still don't get how Skell could be interested in both Maddox and you. You're like night and day.
I would have said the same. Maddox was my opposite in every way, but here we are, both working on controlling killer drones.
Well, that's hardly a resemblance.
Still goes to show how stars can realign given the right circumstances. Skell always was the kind to trust his instincts.
Doesn't matter if you're doing the same things. The motivation behind them make all the difference.
I left my noble intentions behind a long time ago.
Why the fixation on the R&D Center? Project Omega.
Omega was a secret project initiated after the terrorist attack.
The Outcast attack.
Skell only selected his top-performing employees for it. He demanded utmost loyalty. Blind loyalty, because Omega went against everything Aroa stood for.
He needed to know Project Omega would be in the right hands.
And stay in the right hands. The R&D Center is the heart of the whole lethal drones operation. The fount of all ideas, all designs.
You seem to know a lot about it.
I used to work there.
Ah, it all makes sense now.
Reserve your judgments. Look, they have an army of scientists whose sole purpose is to engineer a mechanical superkiller.
That's a lot of manpower.
Brain power. Just think of what all that gray matter could have accomplished under the right encouragement. They corrupted noble intentions.
Huh. What's that saying again? The road to hell is paved or something?
I suffer every day for my mistakes. I will never forgive myself.
Well, maybe that's a start then. Nowhere to go from here but up. Now that the AI's been let loose, what'll happen next?
It's gone wild. By definition, it's unpredictable. Your guess is as good as mine.
But you've known all the factors, the conditions from the beginning.
Yes, I always had a feeling this would happen. It was trust, really. A lingering hope that they would be able to control it, like they said they would. It's hard not to feel cynical about that hope now.
So that's it. That's all you have to say.
I can't deny that this outcome serves some. Maddox, for example, must be having a field day.
Great. Should I pop the champagne then? Sounds like a real party. Stay safe.
You too.
So, Rowan, how is it that you settled here on Aroa?
You know, classic stuff. Came to the island, found peace, didn't mind the neighbors until they pulled out the killer drones. The usual.
Rowan, you got a little military in you.
I guess I still look the part. Hard to wash that stink off, huh?
Tell me about it. Who were you with?
Army, 10th Mountain.
Good. That ought to come in handy.
Can't tell who you're with, though. I'd call that a non-standard uniform.
We need deniability sometimes. And honestly, I wear what's comfortable. They let us get away with a lot.
Ah, you're one of those people.
I guess I am.
Reckon you can't tell me the name of your unit.
I could, but...
You'd have to kill me. Right. So, where were you before?
I was Navy. Did a few years on the teams before joining DevGru.
SEAL, huh? Did some work with them in Baghdad chasing the deck of cards.
I was there in 03, 06, and 08. We took down our fair share of the deck.
Glad to have you on this one.
Wish the situation on the ground was friendlier.
Don't worry. Shouldn't be nothing for a knuckle-dragger like you.
I guess we better get to work.
It's not gonna be easy.
The only easy day was yesterday.
You're a little far from home, aren't you?
I'm here on work. This is no vacation.
You don't look like the typical tourist. In fact, you look like you have a little bit of soldier in you.
Well, what's your story?
I came here looking for a little peace. Instead, I found the wolves.
It sounds like we have a common enemy. What can you tell me about them?
I've been doing recon on those pricks for months now. They're different than regular Sentinel. They're more like you. They're highly specialized. They work in small teams and they're lethal. They got their own op sites all to themselves. They hardly ever leave. They just train.
I'll have to pay them a visit.
What? You got a death wish? You can't fight them alone. They're too good. You'll need a full team to take them on.
Can I count you in?
Like I said, I came here looking for peace. But that doesn't mean I can't tell you where to find a fight. Let me know when you're ready. You'll need a team, so either bring your own or I'll help you find one. Then I'll show you where to find the Wolves' current op site, and you can get down to business.
I'll see you later.
Cool. The battlefield will need more blood. Makes the green grass grow, right?
We need to help out our sick people, but we need to make sure that we stay healthy. So use the proper sanitary procedures out there.
blockade it off, and then you gotta jump over all kinds of crap to get through there.
How do you fit into this whole Skell tech design?
I was the head of the civic engineering department. Guess you could say I resigned over creative differences regarding Titan.
So you had something to do with designing the infrastructure here on Aroa?
Sort of. I build on top of what the New Zealand and US military started. Every culture has to do that. Build on top of existing infrastructure. The older the culture, the more infrastructure is already in place, the harder it is to modernize. That's why Europe is such a mess.
Why not just tear it up and start over?
Once you build something, like roads, you don't want to unbuild them. Plus, Skell wanted to keep all the existing structures in place as a way to preserve the island.
That seems like a pain in the ass.
I don't mind a challenge. That's what makes me so good at what I do.
So I guess your roads are going to be a problem for the next person that comes here to design infrastructure.
I doubt it. By the time my roads need to be reworked, people will be flying around Aroa on jetpacks.
All these drones must use a massive amount of power.
We use more electricity than most third world countries.
So if we pull the plug, we can shut the whole operation down.
There's no plug. The whole island is powered by a diverse, renewable power grid. There are multiple power sources, and no one source powers everything. And all the power sources are renewable. None of them need fuel.
So you built a lethal drone army and gave it unlimited power. No one thought that might be a problem?
Skell insisted our power came from environmentally friendly sources. We have the cleanest power grid on Earth. Also the most expensive. Maybe people like you are the reason Skell had to build his utopia way out here in the middle of nowhere.
How many of these renewable power sources are there?
There's a massive solar panel farm outside Liberty and wind turbines on the west coast. There are also 2 oceanic geothermal plants in the channels between the islands. Those are powered by cold water from Antarctica and warm water from the Pacific.
There must be some kind of battery where they store all the excess power.
Just north of Liberty, there's a dam. Inside are flywheel capacitors. That's where the energy is stored.
Sounds like you built this power grid to be rock solid. I guess it's gonna be impossible to turn the lights off.
Sorry, I built this place to last.
That's the scary thing about this World 2.0 you built. It can't be rebooted. What kind of air traffic do you get on the island?
Before the perimeter of drones made leaving the island impossible, the only people flying in or out were investors or vacationers. To be honest, we've never had much air traffic. Why do you ask?
Saw an airport earlier. We might be able to land a bird in there.
To evacuate people?
Or explore. I'm just spitballing here.
The Aroa airport near Infinity has the big runway. That's where all the international flights come in.
I need smaller airstrips, somewhere that can land helos.
Try Liberty Airport. We use it for internal jumper flights. If you're snooping around there, just be careful. Sentinel uses both of them, so they're crawling with security.
What's with the fancy net there on Erewhon's crater?
Well, it's hardly a net, but yes, it is fancy. It's bleeding-edge, multi-layered camouflage equipment that blocks visibility with surrounding environmental patterns. More importantly, it fools the drones. It's how I keep Erewhon hidden and virtually impossible to find.
So it works the way a chameleon would, blending into the background.
A little more advanced, but yes. The fabric uses a signature management system that disrupts thermal patterns, infrared wavelengths, and radio emissions so drones can't run their recognition algorithms. It won't fool the human eye. I mean, if somebody was looking at a drone feed, they might notice something weird, but...
Nobody can check thousands of hours of video feed on Aroa.
Right. It makes hiding things from drones pretty easy. They can't respond to what they don't see. It was developed by Skell Tech. Luckily, I just so happen to know how to hijack it. Now Erewhon can remain safe for at least a little while.
I like your style, Jericho. I'll see you around.
Sure. I'll be seeing you.
Hey, Nomad. I got something you might find interesting.
I'll see you around.
You be safe out there.
Yes, ma'am.
You ever think we'd end up here?
How's it going?
I'm good. But listen, I need to show you something. Over there on the table. Recognize him?
Yeah, his name is Victor Cost. He's old school Black Ops.
My guess is he's here with the CIA.
Well, if he's a mole, then he might be able to help us.
From what I can tell, his location is somewhere near the channels. You might want to start by looking there.
All right, I'll head over and see what I can dig up. This was a good find.
Glad I can help, even if I am all dinged up.
Ready for this fight?
Walker's dead.
No matter what happened, I know it wasn't easy. I talk a lot of shit, but I'm sorry things went down this way.
I was so angry. Seeing the things he did and what he became. Thought I'd feel better.
Dude, don't beat yourself up. You're still human.
This is bigger than Walker. He was a symptom, and this disease is systemic.
It goes pretty high, doesn't it?
What worries me is what takes Walker's place.
Whoever it is, we'll be ready.
I hope so, brother. I hate being stuck on this island.
It's growing on me. I love the trees.
You're an idiot.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you like it so much, since it doesn't look like we're leaving anytime soon.
Who wants to leave? Things are just getting interesting.
That's for damn sure.
So, what do we do now?
What we always do. We take the fight to them. This shit is hardly over.
We need help. There's good people here.
Yeah. First, we gotta help them get control back. Then we figure out who the hell is driving this bus. And smoke them.
Hell yeah.
You know, I guess I am glad you survived that crash.
Love you too, buddy. Cocktail?
How about two? Later, brother.
Later. You ever see yourself doing this? So is the broadcast having any effect?
Some outcasts loaded me up with gear. I think they're looking for an alliance.
ready for this fight? You think this was how things were gonna go when Sentinel came in? yourself doing this.